Good morning, everyone. What I'm thinking about as I stand here is how we rewilded our front yard. And so I'm facing the street, and this was all mowed grass when we moved here. These woodies I'm showing you were not here other than that stump and this big red maple. All the rest have been put in by us or nature. And I wanted to show this area because it's just so beautiful, and it looks like maybe it was difficult to do. And I think it was more difficult than it needed to be. And that's only because at the beginning when we started with all of this, we were just very excited. And so we planted a ton of stuff, and some of it didn't survive because we put them in the wrong spots. Others did survive, but then a lot of wild plants came in on their own, native wild plants that were much happier there. So out here, what we first did was keep it mowed for a while. And then we knew we wanted more of a screen since we are so close to the road. And so we decided to put in some woody plants. And those include redbud and serviceberry, staghorn sumac, and then over on the edge over here, that is nine bark. And we put the sumac in because it grows quickly. The redbuds and the serviceberry grow a little bit less quickly. And the sumac is also short-lived. So it moves by rhizomes, runners, and new ones come up and old ones die out. The old ones are great for the woodpeckers. What we did on this main part is we covered this whole thing with cardboard and straw. And then we tried different mixes. At first we thought, oh, this is gonna be really sunny. And so we put in butterfly weed and Helianthus mollis. I can't think of the common name right now. But that is the two we put out here. They didn't do great, probably mostly because we didn't think it through and we put them on top of the cardboard. The cardboard hadn't yet broken down, and so even though we put straw on top, it couldn't stay moist enough for those seeds to germinate. And Steve and I do a lot of watering for things that go in at the beginning of their life, but that one we did not. Probably because we had so many things happening. So neither of those are here, and they didn't really do well because of what I just said with the cardboard and straw. And now we have a lot of different plants that came in alone and by us. We have a lot of goldenrods, a lot of asters. We have a lot of thimbleweed. And on this side, where it's even shadier, we have a lot of grasses. Bottlebrush grass, beet grass, and here is Canada anemone. We have raspberries that have come in, some cup plant that have moved around, no doubt by the birds. There's also a bottlebrush buckeye. And you can see it's a very shady environment. It's very enchanting. There are always a lot of birds out here. There's always a lot of food, and we really have a lot of privacy from the road. Now you can see there's going to be a car. And that's our neighbors, and they come and go a lot. And so it's really nice to have the plants here. Up here a little closer, we have some woodland plants that we have put in as well. So right here, in a cage and surrounded by pennies, is spikenard. And we're gonna foster that plant by keeping them with enough water. We have some grape that goes up this old snag, and then in this arbor and crawling over it, we have trumpet creeper. a lot of these seeds have just moved around. It's really great because we might have planted just a couple of the thimbleweed. We never planted these native asters. If you've seen aster seeds, you know they're real fluffy and they just move around really well. And so if you have one anywhere near you, you'll probably get them popping up, and they're absolutely gorgeous. Once the thimbleweed, we put one in, they also have really fluffy seeds, and so I am sure that they spread on their own, obviously, but it's because they're very happy where they are. And I think that's the main message here, is hitting that sweet spot. That's black cohosh. I really want these to flower, so I'm going to give them some supplemental water. And there's a coffee tree, if you can believe it, right there, that bipinnate leaf. I threw some seeds out here once, and amazingly that one germinated. They have a really hard seed coat, so without me breaking the seed coat, the fact that they germinated on their own is quite remarkable, because usually they lay there forever. These will definitely flower soon, but the plants are going to move where they're happy, and if you work with that and you accept that, like we did, once we stopped trying to keep things in certain spots, it got so much easier and honestly so much more beautiful for us. There's my little finger. And we did the cardboard and straw in one more spot. There is witch hazel right in there. This red bud is actually not happy. So things will die on their own. We have overplanted by probably thousands of plants, but that's okay because some are going to not make it. Cut plant, they planted themselves here. Cut plant can definitely spread a lot, but we found when you're patient with it, it also goes away in certain areas and then comes up in other ones, and we just let them move around. It lets us move around with them, interesting new things to look at, and it provides us with more peace. And that's really what this is all about, isn't it? Besides helping nature, it's peace for ourselves. This area of the driveway is fantastic. It really has filled in so well. It's anchored in the middle by a red bud, and then on each side are hazelnuts. And then we have just a mix of plants in here. Of course, the cut plants and goldenrod, but we have red chokeberry and foxglove beard tongue, tall coreopsis, wild bergamot. A lot of things are not yet flowering, but soon they will be. Now see, right now, if you saw those birds fly through, those were downy woodpeckers, and they've been in here a lot. And I know it's because they're up in the dead sumac over there, and the parent is teaching the young one how to eat insects out of wood. So definitely leaving dead wood is very cool. I can't wait till all these flower. So we started with this area the same. It was all mowed grass. And we did cardboard and straw on this one. And that's really when the neighbors thought perhaps we were a little bit strange, because our nice mowed grass turned to cardboard and straw. And for a little while you sort of feel like you're on display. And then once the plants start growing, it really doesn't matter. Steve and I really embrace wild rewilding. We do not like to keep things controlled. We definitely did, as I already implied, more so at the beginning. But it's just a lot more beautiful now that we do not do that. And when we are here, we want to feel like it's a wild landscape, not a controlled garden. It feels very different within us and within our inspiration well and our contentment well. And so that's how we did this front area. I'm going to share some more videos over time on how we did these areas so you can get some ideas. how you want to do yours. The straw and cardboard worked well, I would say, to then plant the woodies into, and you can plant plugs into, but don't plant seeds into it, at least not until it's decomposed. And then once it's decomposed, that's when you're going to see all the plants start filling in on their own, landing where they're happy. And if there are a lot of invasive plants that come up in yours, just weed them out, and then the natives will definitely start taking over on their own. And you notice that our driveway has a lot of grass in it, and it does. And that's just how we, that's thimbleweed. That's how we manage it. We mow it, and that way we don't have to spray it. Who wants to do that anyways? Okay, happy rewilding and be brave. More power to you.